So we all like to clang and bang, but what happens when the man needs to do cardio? It's dreaded. Why? Because no one likes running on a treadmill for 40 minutes. Well, I will tell you this, I don't do that kind of cardio. The cardio that I do isn't even called cardio. It's called energy system development. And what does that mean? Well, we're developing my anaerobic and aerobic systems, making them better. Just like a bench press, I don't go in there and throw random weights on and throw it around. I have a periodized system and approach that I take to my energy system development, just like any other lift or exercise. Guys, some of my favorite energy system development or cardio is known as high intensity interval training. Luckily, I had an opportunity to train with the great Joe DeFranco and the great Mike Guadango, and even under NFL superstar and fitness model Mark Magna. They were huge proponents for high intensity interval training because the higher your threshold, the higher the intensity you can do, the easier moderate intensity things become, because just like strength, everything else is relative. I hope that makes sense. Either way, I want to dive into some of my favorite HIIT exercises and workouts that I like to do, starting off with the Airdyne bike. If you guys have done CrossFit or heard of CrossFit or any sort of functional or high intensity systems and not been introduced to an Airdyne, well, welcome to Puke Central, because the Airdyne bike is made to be a full body exercise, and most effective high intensity interval training that I do is pretty much full body. So with the Airdyne bike, you basically, the workout that I like to do, and I repeat it probably once or twice a week, is sprints, Airdyne bike sprints. And the time varies. I usually do anywhere from 8 to 10 sets, 20 seconds to 30 seconds of work. And when I work for 20 seconds, I make sure the RPMs are over 100. And then I'll usually rest. If I work 20 seconds, I rest 40. So each rep takes about 1 minute. The overall workout is 8 minutes or 10 minutes, depending on how many reps you actually do. Now guys, I like to do my high intensity interval training or energy system development after my workouts. So if it were a leg day or a leg push day, or I'm doing a lot of quad and glute work, I'll do my Airdyne bike to kind of finish it off or burn it out. Another one of my favorite is the rower. And on the rower, I do it for a longer duration, same high intensity. I shoot for 1.5 minutes to 1:40 minutes. And really what I'm doing is I'm rowing 500 meters as fast as possible. These have less sets because you're working for a longer duration. So I'll row as hard as I can to get to 500 meters, rest 1 minute, and do that 3 to 5 times. And I'll usually do that after an upper body day or a pulling day. Another high intensity interval training workout that I like to do is sled pushes. Now, we use sled pushes for speed work, we use sled pushes for lateral drags and things of that nature, so you know it's very difficult to do. But what I like to do when it comes to energy system development or cardio is load up a sled with 50% of my max and push it for 1 minute. And then I rest for 1.5 minutes. So that's a lot of work. And I do that, I'll repeat that about 5 to 7 times after a workout. You'll definitely feel that one. Last but certainly not least, who doesn't like running? It's a running man's game. So guys, with 300s, what I'll do is typically I'll set up cones either 25 or 30 yards away from a starting point or a starting line, and let's say it's 30, I go there and back 5 times, aiming to get it done in under 1 minute, under 60 seconds, and then I rest for 1 minute. I like the work to rest ratio to be anywhere from typically 1 to 1 or 1 to 1.5, but for running it's always 1 to 1 because in lacrosse, at least in the National Lacrosse League and indoor lacrosse, we have a 30-second shot clock. So typically I'm moving, I'm working for 30 seconds, I run off, offense is working for 30 seconds, it's usually a 1-to-1 ratio. So I like to train for that. Guys, I hope this high intensity interval training is something you can implement into your program and something you can do to make you a better athlete. The more you can put out, the more work you can do, the higher intensity you can play, the more goals you can score, the more hits you can lay, the better the athlete you become. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I tried to make it a quick hitter because we're talking about HIIT. HIIT. Schwingo. Guys, so implement some of these post-workout as finishers and let me know what you think. Really push yourself. The more you sweat in times of peace, the less you bleed in times of war. Sun Tzu. I don't know who said that, but I think it could have been Sun Tzu. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, like it, subscribe, comment, link in bio, share it with your friends, all that good stuff. Guys, if you have questions, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on IG. Any questions you have, I'd be more than happy to answer. Hopefully, you guys hit me up. Hey, stay on the grind. Season's right around the corner, baby. Let's go.